Happy Wednesday. It's Don checking in along the Yampa River. Some have referred to these as my new river series. Well, the weather is stunning, and today my 52nd birthday. So this would be my birthday edition of the river series. And the weather definitely is changing, and soon enough this will be covered in snow and ice. So I want to continue the conversation that I've started around burnout, both as leaders and among our teams, and carry forward this idea that I introduced, that looking at, first of all, are redefining our experience of success from specific outcomes to instead our level of engagement and fulfillment in our work. And the inverse of that, which I think is a very good sign as a precursor for burnout and a red flag for it, is disengagement and feeling unfulfilled. And just to start with, as a founder, CEO, a senior leader, that can be very, very concerning and disturbing, because when we start to feel disengaged and unfulfilled consistently, that's in my experience and my clients' experience, that is definitely a red flag for starting to burn out. Because if we don't reverse that disengagement and lack of fulfillment can turn into bitterness and cynicism that spreads very, very quickly within our organization, to our clients, our customers. And there's a whole variety of reasons why we become disengaged and unfulfilled. There's a lot of empirical data out there, social studies around burnout, and I think so many of them touch on the real reasons for disengagement and lack of fulfillment. Often, just a lack of clarity is one reason that's shared. Likewise, feeling like there's just so much to get done, and being in a state of overwhelm on a consistent basis can contribute to feeling disengaged and unfulfilled. And really what it comes down to for me is that lack of clarity and alignment with what's most important. And when we experience that lack of clarity and alignment, that's when I think, we start to feel disengaged and unfulfilled. And so there's three things that come to mind for you as a leader to reverse this disengagement and unfulfillment. They both really involve stepping back. So for you individually is to take moments like this where you really unplug and practice some sort of mindfulness, even if it's just, again, sitting on a park bench and disconnecting from all the other demands and just doing nothing. And that's shocking for me to say, because for so long I thought, why would you just sit there and do nothing? But that is the whole point, is to allow some space and stillness to think about what's most important. And that ties into, am I very clear and aligned with a compelling mission and vision that's fueled by a heartfelt purpose? And we'll get into that in a future episode. But for now, that's my first recommendation, is just to unplug, take time, even if it's 10 minutes, consistently. It'll help surface things to provide more clarity. The second is to journal. And there's so much science out there about the value and power in journaling. But just to reflect on our thoughts, and again, consistently. So jotting down things, perhaps after you're out unplugging, coming back and just jotting down what came to mind. and doing that again on a consistent basis. And for my clients, I suggest and really encourage a more regular practice of, in the morning, jotting things down that we're grateful for and that we're also grappling with. And the third thing is to reconnect with people we care about, those we love. That's the other way, I think, to start to create more clarity and alignment. And it gets deeper once we think about what our mission and our vision is and reclarifying our purpose, which, again, I'll speak to in a future episode. For your teams, there's three things that come to mind. One is to just start talking with people more regularly, perhaps impromptu, outside of scheduled Zoom meetings, just reaching out to people and checking in with how they're feeling, what's their level of engagement and fulfillment, and seeking honest feedback. The second is certainly noticing any trends. Speaking with HR, whether people are having more sick days. That's certainly something I noticed in my company when we started to experience burnout that I know was tied to my own. But that was one way. We started to see patterns surfacing around people getting sick and taking time off. And the third thing is survey, just putting together a survey periodically to gauge what's the level of engagement and fulfillment, and where are the areas that people are feeling like they lack clarity, they're overwhelmed, they don't have the right resources. It's ways to really nip things in the bud before people get so burned out that they resign and you're left with a business that is really struggling because it doesn't have the team to move the business forward and serve clients and customers. So those are my suggestions around, again, dealing with a growing lack of engagement and fulfillment. And they're really precursors, again, for burnout. And I think both it starts, individually with our own leadership, but then certainly there are those couple of strategies that I suggested to gauge that among our teams. And so next time we're going to dive deeper into regaining clarity and alignment ourselves as leaders, and how important that is, and some of the ways that have worked so well for me over the years and for my clients, and look forward to sharing those next session. All right, talk soon.